and welcome to Global Fashion Workshop. Let me remind you that we post a new video 3 times a week. Today, I would like to cut a dress without any patterns with you guys. But not only do I want to cut the dress without the patterns, I want to help you understand how to place a dart directly on the fabric without constructing it first on a tracing paper. First, I will show you the fabric that I have. I folded it and pinned it together already. It is linen with horizontal ribbons sewed on top. These ribbons are these wavy ones. They are sewed on after every 3.5 centimeters. Now let's look at our dress model. This cut goes directly through the bust line, right through this point here. Dress is straight because it is linen fabric. It is straight and not too fitted on the waist. Just a simple dress. Let's look carefully on how to make this bust line. I reminded you that we don't have any 10th measurement system or any other base pattern. And today we will construct with you this elegant dress. Look at this line. Here we have a small seam. Here we will end up having horizontal lines. And here I didn't even trace them. The construction will show by itself how the stripes will go into the upper part. What will we need? We will need measurements of the bust circumference, half of the bust circumference and 1/4, waist circumference, 1/2 and 1/4, hip circumference, 1/2 and 1/4, back length, neck to waist measurement, 41, back width, half back width, and here I have my mark at 21 centimeters. Shoulder to bust, 31.5. I'll explain to you how I measured all of this. Right here, from the middle of your shoulder, well, 31.5 is too much. I think I have 30 for sure. I will take 30 centimeters for the shoulder to bust. This here I will cross out. For the length of the dress, 107 centimeters. I was measuring it from the shoulder, 107 throughout the front. Now we start our construction from the back. I already evened out the edges of the fabric. By the way, we already have the back seam. And I think we will start to construct from the bottom edge of our fabric. First, I want to turn your attention to the following. My fabric is with horizontal stripes. These are sewn in ribbons. That is why I pinned it together in some places, but not on every single stripe, just here and there. I did it to be sure that both parts of the fold are identical. Now I trace the bottom line over here, and naturally, we start with constructing our back. Bottom line is the start of the hemline. Now look here. I measured myself on the front, from the shoulder seam, through the bust point, 107 centimeters. But when I construct the back part, I take away 5 centimeters. You will understand why later. But some of you could measure your length directly on the back center. It will be correct as well. Maybe somebody can help measuring you. Now look how 107 minus 5 centimeters I take with our back center to the neckline. 102 centimeters. Here's where my neckline turned out. This is our 7th cervical vertebrae. And the length of my future dress is 102 centimeters. By the way, this video is especially good for newbies, for the people new to our channel, because we haven't shown you how to cut without patterns for a long time. we haven't drafted any darts. That is why today's lesson is very important. If you will learn this method of constructing, you will be priceless because it is just very cool. Not being dependent on any prior patterns. If you want to cut something, here you go, you do it yourself. The back length from the 7th cervical vertebrae to the waistline is 41 centimeters. Here we have it, 41. From this line, I trace the waistline. Now we have 4 lines. On the edge is the back center line, and here we have the seam. We will baste it very carefully. We will have to place the 2 halves to match together all of our decorative ribbons on the fabric. Base of the neckline, the waistline, and the bottom line. Now this part we will divide by 2. 41 divided by 2 equals 20 and a half. Let's trace another line too. It will be the supporting line for the armhole. Now from the waist down, measures from 17 to 21 centimeters, depending on your height. For the lower heights, take 17 centimeters, averages 18 to 19 centimeters, and if you're tall, take 21 or maybe even 23. It's a measurement from the waistline to the hip line. I will take the average one. My hip in reality is right over here. From the waistline, it is only 11 centimeters down, and after it is just a straight line. But I would never emphasize it. I will draw beautiful hips for myself, and you will have to learn for yourself too. And just like that, we now have 3 horizontal lines that are called bust, waist, and hips. Now let's look at our measurements. Bust circumference, I will mark 29. From this line, I am drawing 29.
Я отмечаю бедра, 1/4 бедер 28, так как и есть у меня меньше всегда бедра.
I will mark hips. 1/4 of the hips is 28 centimeters. Linen dress. My hip circumference happens to always be smaller. To draw a back center line, measure 1.5 centimeters on the waist. And we draw a curved line.
Ох, как трудно писать, не хочет она писать. И вот так вот до спины. То есть наша линия теперь вот. Она немножко стала вогнутой по линии талии. И теперь обращаем внимание, смотрите, на что? На 1/4 обхвата талии. Это 23 сантиметра.
Next, 1/4 of the waist circumference will be 23 centimeters. Basically, we will not need this line.
Теперь получится, что нам, чтобы соединить
if we will connect all of our marks, we will get a line which doesn't really exist in clothes. That is why we have to add here on the waistline 2.5 centimeters for the dart. Now we trace our line. Since we added over here, we can now construct our dart. In order to draft the dart, make a line more or less in the middle. Stop a little before the hip and armhole lines.
Немножко не доходя до груди. Вот это расстояние, которое мы прибавили для того, чтобы у нас не была такая вогнутая линия. А кто-то не будет приталиваться на этот участок, кто-то просто...
On the waist measure, we draw 2.5 centimeters, which is the dart width. Now you can draft the dart. I will add here 1 centimeter for ease on the hips for myself. I showed you different variations. It is up to you if you want, or if you want it loose or tight-fitting onto the waist.
На бедрах мне надо было взять не 28, а 29.
It is up to you if you want it loose or tight-fitting onto the waist. I will not make a dart, but maybe it will be useful for you. Let's draw this side seam line. Let's take it in slightly, and if you don't want to, just leave it. It does not really matter.
А я вообще вот это не хочу делать. Я отсюда хочу сделать прямо. Но я объясняю и для тех, кто будет делать немножко силуэт
A linen dress for this summer. I also want to add 1 centimeter on the side. Here's my line for a looser dress. I'm drafting the dart for those who want it to be more fitting. And what we added onto the side seam, we will be taking into the dart to make a better fit.
Потому что вот это расстояние, что мы не нарисовали такую вогнутую линию, мы вот здесь вот забираем. Мы здесь прибавили, здесь забираем. Нормально. Мы добьемся хорошей посадки. Дальше, вот здесь у нас 29
расстояние. If 1/4 of our hip line is 29 centimeters, then on the bottom line, we could take 32 centimeters and draw a trapezoid shape.
32. Я вам сейчас образно так нарисую и сделать легкую трапецию вот так вот. Вы можете отсюда взять, если у нас это 29, вы можете здесь взять 27 и заузить. Кто-то будет зауживать. Я просто уже показываю просто все.
If you want to narrow the dress to the bottom, take 27 centimeters. It is all up to you. You could also just make a straight dress.
Это уже лично только ваш выбор. Дошли до бедер, можем на заужение, можем на трапецию, можем просто ровно. Теперь смотрим.
Now look at the upper part.
Точка пересечения центра спины. Вот она, центр спины. И нашей вот седьмого шейного
позвонка. We take 8 centimeters from the middle line on the neckline.
Откладываем от нее 8 сантиметров. 8 и наверх откладываем 3.
And up 3 centimeters. Take 7 for small sizes and 9 for larger ones.
Для больших размеров 9. Крой очень примерный, мы краем без выкроек, поэтому учитесь у специалистов, которые хорошо знают, как
This cut is not exact. We are not drafting any patterns. That is why we learn from professionals who have already tried everything. Your responsibility is to just listen.
Но это не значит, что я
Here we draw the curved neckline.
Я-то потом срежу это все, срежу и сделаю себе вообще вот такое плечико маленькое. Но для того, чтобы понимать, как выглядит крой, мы рисуем вот это.
Next, from the back center, measure 1/2 of the back width and trace a straight line.
Откладываем 21 от центра спины и проводим прямую линию.
From the highest point on the back piece, draw a straight line to our back width line.
От высшей точки плеча мы проводим прямую линию, ну, примерно вот такую прямую линию, она нам не пригодится.
Here is our back width.
И делаем скос сантиметра 3.
Now measure 3 centimeters and draw a line at an angle. By the way, there's one thing I forgot to mention. How to measure the back width without using any pattern.
Вот наша ширина спины. Кстати, а вы знаете, что забыла сказать? Как измерять ширину спины для раскроя?
Not like how we measure it for the pattern drafting from armpit to armpit, but across the upper back. Let me show you. From one side to another, I have 42 centimeters. If I measure it from one armpit to the other, I will end up completely with different numbers. From the drawn shoulder line, measure 1 centimeter. And now we draw the armhole line. The line has to be rounded and nicely done. Let's make it even rounder. Otherwise, it will cover your hand here and ruin the entire look. Now let's go back to the side seam. I took it in here a little and flared it out, but I want to do it even more loose and with a high waistline. From the middle point between armhole and waist, draw a straight line to the hips.
Грудь, талия, половина, примерно вот так вот, да? По линии идти, а уже туда я хочу уйти. То есть я хочу...
I want a loose fit summer dress.
Платье. И начинаю резать. Видите, какая ткань?
Now I am starting to cut.
Обратите внимание на то, что пока...
For now, I'm just cutting by the outline and not making my favorite little shoulder. That I will do later, while cutting the front piece. That does not mean that I will have the dress with such shoulder and neckline. It doesn't really suit me. Very often, I'm being asked, why did you add over here, but not
Очень
there?
часто после таких раскроев поступают вопросы, почему вы там прибавляли,
It's
там
because I know
прибавляли, потому
that
что
it
я
is
уже знаю,
always
что в
necessary
естественном
to add
надо
1
прибавлять.
centimeter on a
По
shoulder
высоте
line
плеча
and
обязательно
not on the
надо
armhole.
прибавлять сантиметры, по пройме не надо. Один раз
Once you
вырежете
make a
какой-то
muslin,
макетик,
try it on,
проверьте на
do the
себе,
necessary
и вы
adjustments,
потом будете
and then you
четко
will know
знать.
exactly how much you have to add and where.
Сколько вам
Someone will
прибавлять
add
свободы.
1/4
Нашим
measurements, 2 centimeters, 1
кто-то
centimeter
прибавит
less,
2
it does not
сантиметра,
matter.
кто-то 1,5, кто-то что-то.
What's important
Неважно,
is that you
совершенно
understand
это
the
не
basic
важно.
principle.
Важно, чтобы вы принцип поняли сейчас.
See that I didn't slim down the waist at all? Because what I
Видите, я
need
вообще
is
не
just a straight
приталивала.
dress,
Вот
shaped
отсюда
just a
взяла
little
немножко
on
на
the waist.
вогнутость, и вот с этой вот середины уже взяла туда на расширение. Почему? Потому что мне надо,
Because
чтобы
it is
платье
summer.
лежало вот так вот раз, и отсюда вот так ровненько, потому что лето. Мне не нравится линия вот здесь, видите, что? Вон она.
I don't think that I like this line. You see what is going on here? Let's correct it. The silhouette is your choice. Find what suits your body shape.
Силуэт вы выбираете сами.
Add some 4
И
centimeters
отсюда
for the
я
hem.
немножко прибавляю сантиметров так 4 на подгибку.
Cut
вот сюда
a
спиночку,
curved
здесь
line
тоже
on the
надо
center of the
сделать
back.
вогнутую линию по центру спины.
You see, right now I'm perfecting the line. It is quite difficult to cut this fabric.
Это я уже работаю сейчас над красотой линий. Очень трудно режется ткань.
Well, I
Мне
think
кажется,
that
вот
our
теперь
line
линия
finally
красивая.
looks
Теперь смотрим
nice.
сюда на центр спины. Ну вот, зная себя,
Now,
зная
let's
себя,
look at
я
the
сейчас
back
хочу
line.
сказать вот что.
I know I have to take off 1 more centimeter from the shoulder.
По высоте плеча.
If you are not sure about this,
Кто не уверен
don't
в
cut
себе,
anything
пожалуйста, не
extra.
снимайте лишнего, потому что
You will later see what is needed in the fitting process. Now we've got a neat back piece. Our back here is magical. The seam is on the center of the back, a little taken on. The waist. The side seam is almost straight.
Немножечко хочу.
I want to pin it together a little.
Да. Я думаю, что я сейчас немножко прекращу наше видео и сметаю центр
And now
спины
I'm
сразу,
basting the back
чтобы
center.
снова не складывать.